Hi, this is Dave over at NetLine. It sounds like you want to build a connector from NetLine to feed the leads captured over to a Zoom hosted webinar. So, with that being said, we're going to walk through a quick build of a connector within inside the NetLine portal, doing exactly that. And we'll use Zapier as the conduit to do so. So, what I've done was I just built a quick demo campaign here. Within the campaign, I just skipped simply to the fulfillment step. I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to get the connector type ready to edit. So being that it's none of these default ones, I'm going to pick other and we'll leave that open for a moment. And so from here, you can see that this is a connector key. And basically these are all the values that we capture by default. But then on the right-hand side, these are all the values that we can send to any third-party system. In this case, we're talking about Zoom webinars. So what we'll do from here is first jump over to Zoom and make sure that the webinar indeed is set up. And so what I did was I created a quick test webinar here. What you're seeing is all the normal stuff that you would see, the registration link. You can actually edit any of the branding, any of those things. You're probably already familiar with the platform, so I'm not going to really spend too much time here. You can see that I also passed over a couple test registrants too. But for purposes of this, we're also going to go into Zapier. And so think of Zapier as a way of passing data through disparate systems. In this case, we're going from the NetLine portal over to Zoom webinars. And so the first thing we want to do is use what's called a webhook. A webhook is exactly what it sounds. It's a place where we can send data via post, usually in a secure fashion. Will be caught by said hook and then allowable to be passed to any third-party system. So we're going to say catch hook. We're going to continue. And from there, we're going to be given this URL. This is really important. You're going to hit copy on this. We're going to jump back to the NetLine portal. And in this URL field here, we're going to just drop that in. And so let's jump back here. We'll continue with this. And so now it's saying test your trigger. So what I want to do is we'll first hit test and nothing's going to happen because it's trying to find the data. So we'll jump back to the NetLine portal. We'll scroll down, not make any edits here right away. If you know your fields that you want to receive, let's say your Zoom webinar form is relatively short and you're not capturing all of these, you can just remove them here and then we won't actually send them over. And so from here, we'll hit submit and you'll see a new link shows up on this page. It says send test. I'm going to click on that. That'll launch a bunch of test leads. You can rename these. You can make them your own name or some strange characters so that they're recognizable, at least more discernible on your side. But we'll just hit submit. So right now, it's sending 5 test leads over to Zapier, not yet to Zoom. And that has been completed. So let's jump over to Zapier. We're going to hit test trigger. Great. And so now it's found that data. And so I'm just going to say, yeah, we'll use one of these and continue. From there, we know that we want to send this data over to Zoom. So I'm going to actually pick Zoom. We want to create a new webinar registrant. So I'm going to pick that, hit continue. It's now going to be looking for accounts. If you aren't already logged in, you'll do so here. There'll be a login prompt. Being that I'm already logged in, I'm going to just simply pick one of these accounts. And then I will hit continue. From there, it's looking for the webinars in your account. And so this is that webinar that I had already built. So I'm picking that. The fields, I just want to map the fields based upon what we sent over from NetLine into Zapier. So I'm going to do that. We'll go here, first name. We can hit show all options. We'll find first. And if you didn't want all of those points of data, you wouldn't see them here. So we're going to go to last, phone, and industry. Okay. Confirmation email, yes. We'll say true. You can turn that off if you want. And now it's asking to test data being sent over to the webinar. So I'm going to hit test and review. It'll say it's successful. From there, we can jump back over to Zoom. and actually go here. And now if I go back to this, click on webinars, find my webinar, and scroll down to the bottom of this page, you'll see that there's a section that says registrants. You might recall that before there were 2 of them. Now there's 3. And I can confirm the 3 that have been generated. And this was the one that we just did a moment ago. So that's really it. Yeah, again, so we were successfully able to set up a connector in a few minutes from the NetLine portal over to Zoom webinar via Zapier. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to portal support. If not, thanks. Take care.